Hey guys, we are back for another video. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever we upload. And also, if you like the content, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. So, guys, we are back to go over the situation with Real Housewives of Atlanta. As I stated earlier, if you have not had a chance to watch that video, go ahead and watch that, and then come on back and watch this one. I posted a video with regards to Real Housewives of Atlanta. That video is titled, let's see. I have so many videos I forget. Real Housewives of Atlanta fires entire cast. Bravo to reboot. So I want to talk a little bit more about that particular situation. And let's just jump right in. For the fans who've been watching the show, especially from the beginning, you know that this season was a hot ass mess. As I stated, before on my YouTube channel, I stopped talking about the show because it's like, at what point, does the foolery and the nonsense stop? Just to kind of reiterate what I said earlier, it just really seemed like nobody had a storyline and they were grasping for straws, arguing about stuff that was so stupid that I felt like it was really a waste of time. We know that the network, although they pay some hefty salaries to the ladies, they are in this to make money. And when they decide that they are not making money, it is time for them to do what they feel is necessary to bring in income for the show. Keep in mind that this has not been the first season that this show has been trash. With that said, how did these ladies actually think that they were going to be paid hefty salaries and have little to no viewers? Let's just talk about it. As stated in the article that I read earlier, again, if you have not watched that video, go ahead and check it out. Kandi Burruss and Kenyamoore is paid about $100,000 per episode. Not to mention, they're also paid for the reunion, which is a separate, I know it used to be separate, potentially a separate amount of money. So think about it. We're talking $100,000 per episode. How many episodes is it normally? About 20? I'm just guessing. So let's just say about $2 million. So for two people, that's 4 million. Are you kidding me? For two people? If they decided to just get rid of Kandi and Kenya, that's $4 million that they're saving. Keep in mind, they've revamped other reality shows with new people, and the shows are successful, and those people are making 100,000 for the whole season and not 100 per episode. So we got a problem. So what I want to do is, let's talk about each individual lady and what they actually bring to the show. Drewsidora. We know that Drew is an actress. Unfortunately, with this particular season and her storyline, it didn't get interesting for Drew, and it feels as though she did not have a storyline until the very end. Keep in mind, Drew has been on this show. When she originally started, she led us to believe that there were some marital issues. However, from what we saw, everything was going fine because she never indicated that anything else was going on. They were in marriage counseling. As you can see with the show, they actually had to come back and film once it hit the blogs that her and her husband had filed for divorce. So keep in mind, we have watched all the episodes, and now the last two, I believe, now they're talking about her husband and her going through a divorce. So it just didn't land right. So in all actuality, Drew probably had more storyline than everybody else, but it didn't land very well because it was only about the last 2 episodes. But I will give her, on a scale of 1 to 10 compared to what everybody else had, I'll give her maybe a 5 because she had something when some of the ladies had absolutely nothing to give. So she had something, but I believe because she's such an untruthful person, and she's telling lies allegedly all the time, it's probably difficult for producers to get a story out of her, a real story, because she's not being truthful with her real life. Again, she's on a reality show and she's really hiding intimate details about her life, because if she wasn't, then we would have known about some things earlier, and then we would have been like, okay, they're getting a divorce, right? Marlo. So we know Marlo was a friend to the show for, I don't know, I believe it was about 10 years or so. And then we know she was off the show for a period of time when her and Nene fell out, and somehow she came back to the show as a friend again. Here's the thing with Marlo, and let me just throw this disclaimer out there. I am nothing like the ladies on the show who seem to not want Marlo as a peach holder. And I believe that is really geared toward Marlo's background. Obviously, she's been to jail. She cut the girl face. So what? Every who on this earth has not did something wrong. So I believe their disdain with Marlo is because they don't want Marlo to be on the same playing field as them, because they want to be able to look down on her and they want to be able to project themselves in a better light. So that is not my gripe with Marlo. My thing with Marlo is it doesn't seem like Marlo is actually fitting into the position. And when I say that, it seems like she almost doesn't feel like she fit. Like it's almost like she doesn't feel like she fit in. It's like she's there, but in so many ways, it's almost like she's uncomfortable. So what's a better way to say this? It almost seems like Marlo is happy to have a peach, but she doesn't seem like she believes that she should be there either. So it's kind of strange with Marlo. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna have to give her maybe a 3, because I don't feel like Marlo had a storyline either. I feel like she was one of the ones grasping for straws. With regards to the Candy situation, okay, that may have been a situation, with her and Candy, with regards to how she felt like Candy should have treated her, but it shouldn't have been her storyline at all. Absolutely not. With regards to Sheree, now we have saw Sheree come and go on this show so many times. I absolutely can't keep track of all the times that Sheree has come and gone. But one thing we know that Sheree does have that the other ladies probably don't have is when they do decide to do a reboot, Sheree would probably be one of the people that they will call back, because Sheree has always maintained flexibility regardless to if she had a storyline or not. For some reason, Sheree is that person that they will bring back. And as Nene stated previous, with regarding, Sheree coming back, she says, oh, well, Sheree was the only one who's willing to come back. I believe in terms of flexibility, Sheree is going to negotiate her pay, but I don't believe she is a Candy or a Kenya or Nene or Portia that's absolutely saying, if you don't give me this amount, I'm not going to, be a part of it. So I don't believe Sheree is like that. So I think she is definitely one of the ones that has a possibility to come back as a friend, because as it's been speculated, is that all of the housewives are going to be gone. They're going to be fired. And there may be 2 or so that can remain friends of the show. And I believe if so, Sheree would definitely be one of those people. With regards to Candy, so here's the deal with Candy. Let's talk about the good. First thing we do know about Candy is she got on this show and she did some very smart things, which I really think a lot of the ladies would have done. First of all, when you leave this show, you're not going to be making $2 million a year on one thing. So we know when Candy started, she was just someone from a group called Escape. Nobody was checking for Candy back then. She got on the show, made herself more relevant. She started these restaurants after she married Todd. We know she got the candy coated stuff. So she basically made her footprint on different business ventures. So I think that's a good thing, because not only was she on the show, she used that money to create other business ventures. And not only did she create those things, she marketed her businesses on the show, which was also a plus. So those are all good things. The disadvantage to that situation is it's been speculated that the businesses that you open on the show, because they're giving you basically free promo, that you have to pay them a percentage of that business. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that is the speculation, and that is something that is allegedly floating around. It is also stated that when Bethany Frankel negotiated her contract with Bravo, that was one of the things that she did not do. And she basically stated that she would not give them a stake in her business. Now, if Candy Burris has signed this could be really detrimental and harm to her business, considering she will not be bringing in a $2 million salary from Bravo every year, or $100,000 per episode, which equates out to probably about $2 million, depending on how many episodes, or perhaps sometimes maybe a little bit more. So we know she will not be bringing in that income. So what that leaves to speculate is how much press will her businesses actually get? Out of sight is definitely out of mind. So the good part to Candy is she actually created these businesses. Obviously, the downfall is, does she need to pay Bravo a percentage of these businesses? Now, speaking of Kenya, I do not believe Kenya will be back. Kenya has basically went on social media. She went on Carlos King's show, and she's basically talked smack about her employer. Because, guys, let's just keep it real. Bravo is their employer. So this is a job. So she's talking bad about her employer, her job, and some of the things that she's stating is very minuscule, very low budget items. I mean, Kenya, you're complaining that they did not give you a show with your daughter. Well, sweetheart, why would we want to watch a show with just you and your daughter? Where is your friends? Where is your cousin or somebody else in your family? We don't know anything about you, Kenya, because you never talk about your life. You are the most vilest person on the show, and your character was formed around just being a nasty, mean person. So, how can we watch a show with you in Brooklyn when we don't even know you have a soft side, because you portray a mean, nasty person on the show? You complain about the network not showing your salon. And you're very angry about that. Well, keep in mind, Kenya, as they reported that the reason why your event was not shown is because, ma'am, it was boring. This is a reality show. Wow, they definitely want to see, scenes where, everybody is getting along. The entire season was a snooze fest. So they want some action. And baby girl, it was none at your event. That's why it was not shown. You complained that your daughter's birthday party wasn't shown. We want to see adults drinking adult beverages, talking about adult stuff. We don't want to see in Brooklyn is cute as a button, but we don't want to see that either, Kenya. So you are angry and you are mad. But let me tell you one thing that I believe that you're mad at, because you finally have something that you're proud of and you want to showcase it to the world. And then you look at your fake friend Candy, because you guys are not real friends, and you see how they showcase her and her businesses. So let me tell you one thing, Kenya. You and Candy are two different people. When Candy came on the show, while she wasn't always showcasing businesses, she got into that really fast with knowing that, hey, I need to be showcasing my business. I need to be doing that. I need to be doing this. So Candy has made it part of her storyline to showcase businesses. Your storyline is a villain. That is your storyline. So now you're angry at the network. You're sounding like Nene Leakes, but then again, you went on a press tour talking about Nene Leakes, saying all of these things, but now the same thing similar that she said is similar to what you're saying now. So Kenya, I'm going to need you to be quiet because you are looking crazy right now. And in terms of storyline, I'm going to have to give you a 0 because you are going through a divorce. You never talk about it. You never talk about your family. We know nothing about you now than we knew about you when you first came on the show. You did a interview with Carlos King in which you stated that storyline is not the most important thing. So what does that say about you? What it says about you is you intentionally not talk about your life and you just meddle and fuck with other people. Sanya, I actually like Sanya. I believe that Sanya is bringing what she has to the show. I like Sanya because she does stand up for herself. When she first came on, she was very questionable to me because I felt like she was really trying to gain Candy and Kenya's approval, which got on my damn nerves. Because listen, if they don't like you, F them, move on. So I'm glad she's over that and she's standing on her own 2 feet, and basically telling people, how she feels. She's not defending Marlo, but she's just basically saying, hey, I've built up a friendship with Marlo and it is what it is. And I love that about Sanya. I believe with her too, in one of the episodes, and everybody knows that she did have a miscarriage, but then she was able to get pregnant again, so congratulations to her. But in one of the episodes when she wore the shirt and she told the ladies on the shirt that she was pregnant, now that was a really good scene where they all hugged and they were all embracing her. Now that is what we are missing with this show. Everybody hates each other. They're not friends, and it's really getting sickening. So, in terms of storyline, I'm going to give Sanya maybe a 6 because although she didn't have a lot going on, she had enough going on. But I feel like with her, and what Drew had going on, and a little bit that Marlo had going on, it was able to, have something going on, but it just wasn't enough because nobody else had anything going on. So at the end of the day, we are at this point. The network has decided to basically let all these ladies go and start fresh. And honestly, I am definitely on board with it. And I'm going to tell you why. In this type of situation, we have a bunch of ladies who really, and I've stated this before, they don't even like each other. So because they don't like each other, it's very difficult to bring them together in a friendship type of way and be able to, have truly genuine friendships. I'll give you an example. It's like with Candy, if like Candy and Marlo situation. If Candy's mad at Marlo, Kenya's mad at Marlo. So it's very bully type behavior. It's very cliquish. It's like, hey, I want to be on this side. So I feel like they need to break this up. They need new ladies, fresh faces. If two people have a problem with each other, it should be just those two people. Everybody does not need to join in. And I see it more so with Kenya and Candy than the other ladies. So Candy, she threw the word alliance around, which was really funny to me considering that she had the alliance, Kenya had the alliance, and Cynthia had the alliance. But now she's throwing it around to say someone else has an alliance. So I think, these ladies definitely need to go. They're not bringing anything to the show. You have a network paying out big money, and they basically come to work and they're not really doing anything. We saw Candy missing for most of the episodes. Listen, girl, you're getting paid $100,000 an episode and you can't even show up for work. And then to say they could have scheduled it other days. And that brings me to my next point. When these women came on this show, they were humble, they were nice. It just seems like now that they were able to put $1 million in their bank account or even 2 million, their attitudes is stinky. At the end of the day, this is your job. This is your employer. If you don't want to follow the rules, then you should just leave. And it seems like that is exactly what the network is doing. And I am on board with it. And for all of the people that's probably going to say, oh, they should respect the ladies. They're a vet. Well, if they're a vet, they should create their own show. It's like when you have a job, you've been there for 20 years. So do you just get to do whatever you want now because you've been there for 2 years, 20 years? No, you need to follow the rules and you need to do your job to your best ability. You don't get to come to work and whine like Kenya. Oh, I didn't get this show, or I don't get a chance to sit next to Andy. And I feel like that is childish behavior. Do your job, do it to the best of your ability. Bring your A game, bring a real storyline, not all these fake boyfriends that we have saw over and over again. We sick of it. We are sick of it. So I am on board, and hey, I am looking forward to what season 16. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will be talking about the reunion. Talk to you guys later.